Hello and welcome back to Newsroom Nigeria. This is where we give you hot, fresh, and sizzling news all day long. If this is your first time here, you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Please go ahead and subscribe, like this video, also leave your opinions in the comment section below as well. Without further ado, let's delve right into the details of today's news. The political crisis rocking Rivers State shows no sign of ending as efforts to reconcile Governor Siminala Wike-Fubara and Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike have stalled 2 weeks after a peace committee was proposed by the National Assembly. Recall that following heightened tension in the state, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in March declared a state of emergency, leading to the 6 months suspension of Governor Fubara, Deputy Governor Ngozi Odu, and all state legislators. Vice Admiral Ibok Ibez, retired, was immediately appointed as sole administrator. Although the National Assembly quickly approved the president's request, both chambers suggested the formation of a committee to mediate between the warring factions before the suspension period lapses. However, no significant action has been taken towards initiating the peace process. According to sources in Port Harcourt, the capital city of the state, reconciliation is being hampered by the roles some prominent Ijaw and Rivers leaders played during the crisis. Those that should have led us out of the woods this time around took sides in the crisis. They lack the credibility to call the two parties to a round table, an insider said. The source noted that many Ijaw leaders openly supported Governor Fubara, while casting aside Wike, further deepening the divide. He also criticized former President Goodluck Jonathan and other groups for allegedly abandoning their neutral roles. Former President Goodluck Jonathan, who should have led the peace talks at this time, was pushed to side with Governor Fubara in the crisis. He said, the Ijaw National Congress INC, led by Professor Benjamin Okaba, disappointed the Ijaw through its obvious partiality in the matter. Professor Okaba did not help matters at all. He added, you remember that all the elders in Rivers are already divided into Wike's or Fubara's elders. These are people that should have risen to the occasion at this point, but they no longer command the respect that can foster genuine reconciliation. As it stands, there is nothing visible being done to kickstart any reconciliation. The president of the Ijaw Youth Council, IYC Worldwide, Jonathan Lokpobiri, also expressed disappointment over the handling of a crisis by some Ijaw leaders. I can, with all sense of responsibility and conviction, state that if we had applied wisdom in the management of this crisis in Rivers State, we would not be where we are today, Lokpobiri said. Instead of using wisdom in matters we can nip in the bud, we chose to threaten war that we were not prepared for. He continued, people speak carelessly in an attempt to put an ethnic group into war that is avoidable. For those who threaten fire and brimstone, the war came, but I didn't hear their voices anymore. We must be wise in prosecuting the struggles of the Niger Delta. While reaffirming support for Fubara to complete his term, Lokpobiri stressed that emotional reactions have no place in critical political disputes. Sometimes wisdom is stronger than the harms we think we have gathered. He said, if we have solved this problem internally, as we advised earlier, we wouldn't get to these embarrassing moments of a state of emergency. On his part, Kennedy Tonjo West, president of a movement for Eyes on Ethnic Nationality Development, said his group had maintained neutrality throughout the crisis and is now ready to help initiate peace efforts. I am already undertaking some consultations so that the process of reconciliation can start on time. We want Rivers to return to a process of reconciliation without any delay, he said. Wike and Fubara have remained at odds since the 2023 general elections despite Wike's earlier support for the governor. Meanwhile, Governor Fubara has since returned to his private residence in Port Harcourt, while most suspended lawmakers, many of them loyal to Wike, are reportedly abroad on holiday. Let's have your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. What do you all think of this? Before we go, guys, let's take a look at some of the reactions we got online. Guys, do you think that, this reconciliation could happen before the 6 months time lapse? Do you think that both Fubara and Wike can be able to come to an agreement, if not settle their disputes? At least, do you think they can be able to come to an agreement not to banter words and to make sure that they maintain peace in Rivers State? And then throughout the rest of, the duration that Fubara has left before the next election, do you think that can be possible? Anyway, let me have your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Let's take a look at some of the reactions we have online. Jay says, Wike has no business in Rivers State's government house and should not be seen wrestling for power with Fubara. No ex-governor did that to him. Even now, Tinubu is not dictated to by Buhari. Greed for money shouldn't cloud our sense of reasoning. We can imagine an emergency administration going for budgets for the Senate. Can you imagine? Okoji Joseph says, all this thing between Wike and Fubara is nothing but distraction to the nation. The time which should have been used to decide something which should be beneficial to a common man is being wasted on Wike and Fubara. It's very, very unfair. Taiwo Ademola says, Wike sees himself like the Oyo Ibadan politician godfather, then, now late. If not Oyo, will also be hot like rivers. Please, Wike, allow peace to reign at least. You are a minister of a FCT, which is bigger than Rivers State. Where on earth do one controls two states at the same time when you are not the president in charge? Let's take a look at another comment from Harold, who says, no one will definitely allow the state under its purview used for negotiations, not even the drunk himself. The current governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Sir Siminalayi Fubara, the executive governor of Rivers State, owns no kobo to any individual, but to govern Rivers State with money generated from Rivers State for development and not to sponsor any politician in power. Let's have your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Thank you very much for always listening and watching, guys. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.